Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. I see there's 24 people there. Saying hello to KD, Yas, Vidya, Yusef, Krisanti, and Carolina. So why don't you tell me where you guys are from? So I moved here recently from San Francisco. Hi, Abhijit. How's it going? Hello from Peru. Hola, Michael. Hello from India, San Francisco. Claudia from UK. Wonderful. We got people from everywhere. Hello. Hi, Akansh. Hi from Italy. Hello. Hi, everybody. India, Brazil. Nice. Germany. Wow, we got people from everywhere. Dallas. Hello. Cool. Well, we're just here to chat. If you want to ask me questions, we got people from India, from Algeria, from Colombia. Nice. Yeah, so this is celebrating because you guys are awesome and you all are subscribed, and I hit a great number, 50,000 subscribers. And then I also checked that the channel got 3 million views, and that fills me with happiness. And so I wanted to just meet you guys and see what questions you have. Hello, Subhajit from India. Wow, you got more from Peru. So yeah, so I'm here basically just to chat. I can talk about the books, I can talk about the videos, about the courses, have some things I can chat in. If there are any questions, I'm happy to receive feedback and receive suggestions. So the book, if you haven't seen it, this is the logo, Rocking Machine Learning, Planning Editors, and I'll be flashing this a lot. But if you're interested in getting the book, there's a discount code, Serrano.YT. That's like Serrano YouTube, 40% discount. Let me put it here. Discount for the book, Serrano.YT. Hello, good morning. Carolina's asking, how did you start the channel? That's an interesting story. I started working at Udacity and I was making machine learning videos. That was the so Udacity is, they have courses on machine learning, AI. So I was hired as kind of the director of AI. So I was teaching online, but then we had there was a lot of courses being made, and then only one video team. So we had to sort of wait for the video team, and they were building self-driving car nano degree. So I was kind of there waiting, and then or enlisted with all the algorithms in machine learning that I knew. But this video was meant to send to my friends, to my colleagues, and so I sent it to my colleagues, and the videos got noises of the chair squeaking, and it's just very, very rough. And then I sent it to the people in the company, a few of them, and then one of them thought it was public, and so he just shared it on Twitter, and then they got like 300 views. And then I was like, oh, okay, well then I'll share it too. And then eventually I forgot about it, and then one day it gets recommended back to me. And I used to work at YouTube, so I know that if a video gets recommended to you, because it's at a certain point of views. They don't recommend every video. They have a pool of very few videos that they recommend. And I'm like, okay, this is serious. And I started looking, and it's at thousands views, and I started getting subscribers. And I said, okay, when it gets to 10,000, I'll put another video. So I put a deep learning video when that happened. And then I just kept putting videos, and I love it. I sometimes have hiatuses when I'm too busy or something, but I'm always thinking about what video to put, and I'm always reading the comments and everybody and everything. So it's been a lot of fun. There's a question of let's see, but it's a lot of them. So if I miss one, please send it again. Claudio says, are you still collaborating with Udacity? Not currently. I left Udacity about a year and 2 months. They still have the courses. I still talk to them a lot. They're great people. I may build courses with them in the future again as an independent contractor, but as of right now, I haven't been Udacity for about a year. Any book for NLP you advise? Oh, wait, 1 second. There's Joseph says, where are you working now? I only know you from Udacity. After Udacity, I worked at Apple. So I was at Apple for 1 year, doing the same thing, building machine learning content. But I just left about 2 weeks ago because I moved to Canada, and I'm right now on vacation. But on Monday, I start a new job at a company called Zapata Computing. It's a quantum AI company. They build quantum algorithms. So I'll be doing research as a research scientist there. So I'm very excited, and I'm learning a lot of quantum computing these days. So maybe one day I'll be able to make videos on quantum computing when I understand it better. Chandra Kanta says, any book on NLP? You know what? Let me look, because NLP books. Let me keep that one in mind. I don't know. I can't think of any good NLP books that I know. Let me think about it. There is an nano degree at Udacity in NLP, which I teach about half of it, but half to 1/3. So that if you want to learn NLP, that's the one. But let me think about it. Yeah. Saurav, how you doing? Hi, how's it going? Hello, Roshani. I would like Suvajit says, I would like to see if you have any end-to-end videos of deep learning, computer vision, and NLP. I do have a video on deep learning that I put in my channel, which I talk about it in a probabilistic way. I like to see neural networks in a more geometric way. I don't like the formulas for backpropagation. They're too long and they say nothing. So I like to see them in a sort of geometric way. You have a linear classifier and another linear classifier, and you combine them into a curved classifier, right? Like that kind of stuff. So I have that video, and I have a few one on CNNs, convolution neural networks, one on recurrent neural networks. There is some material in NLP. I recently put a video on latent Dirichlet allocation, a series of 2 videos. So I recommend that. I'm very happy with those. So take a look at those. Let's see, end-to-end. I recommend this YouTuber for deep learning, Brandon Rohrer. Deep learning. He has great videos. There's also a video of 3 Blue 1 Brown that's pretty good on deep learning. And obviously, I always recommend the deep learning nano degree at Udacity, or also deep learning AI has a great course taught by Andrew Ng. So there's a lot of material. Computer vision also, there's a nano degree on that. Saurav, like the courses, thank you very much. I'm glad that you do. Sheikh Sara says hola. I'm missing. Okay, I'm gonna go a little faster here. Gardner writing that AI is, Sander says, Gardner writing that AI is fake. What do you think? I don't think AI is fake. I mean, I think it's not exact. It's not exact science. So it depends on how you want to take it, right? If you take it with the applications as in like, okay, it helps me with this, then that's fantastic. If you take it as in like, try to do it formally, there's many pros and cons, right? There's many things you can prove formally in AI, but many that you just don't know, and you just see the application and you say, okay, this kind of works, so let's use it. But I have to read what Gardner says, because I'm not sure what he says. But thank you for pointing that out. So Vajit says, I'd like to see if you have. Oh, sorry, I'm behind again. Damien says, no bias, mentioned AI needs more diversity of thought and ethics like philosophy. How do you think someone can do this? Well, definitely being proactive. I mean, there's I don't know if there's a standard way to do it, but diversity is very much needed for many reasons. One is that everybody deserves the same opportunity. But another one is that you cannot build models if you don't have a diverse team building them. I think you have a lot of blind spots. When I was at YouTube, for example, I would always try the algorithms on myself first. And so if all the team looks like me and sounds like me and has, then we're not going to make very diverse recommendations. So it's important to have diverse teams because you have many blind spots. It's not just the will of being diverse, it's the capacity. It's a skill. So you do need diverse teams. And in terms of ethics, I think it's very important that we not only look at what we can do, but also what we should do. I think AI can be a great tool, like fire. It can be a great tool to help you, but also to destroy everything. So I think we always have to keep ethics in mind. Joseph says, would be awesome to see you making videos on quantum computing and share material. Yes, as soon as I understand it better. I think I'm at the level of, I understand some in the formulas and stuff, but when I understand it in a cartoonish way, I will put videos on quantum computing. Nico Tuba says, you had a free nano degree in PyTorch. Fantastic. Great. Congratulations that you did that, and thank you. Hello, Chandrakanta, quantum computing. Yes. Aisha, hello from Pakistan. Nice. Hello. Hi, Gaurav. Thank you. Hi, Claudio. Sahil, how's it going? I worked with Sahil at Udacity. Hope all is well. How can somebody help you out with the content that you create and release yourself? Thank you, Sahil. You know what? I hadn't thought much about it, but sometimes I do try to write code on the videos that I write and that I make. And I'm much slower at code than I am on making videos. So I do have code walkthroughs for some of the videos and some blog posts and stuff like that. But if somebody could write some code and code demos for the stuff I do, I'd be happy to talk about that and be able to attach code to every video and vice versa, right? If you have code, I'd like to make a video on that. So that'd be a good way to help out. Ratna requests to do a video on Metropolis with GIF sampling. Cool. I don't know what Metropolis is, but I will write it down. Yeah, I'll just write it down. GIF sampling. Find out what it is. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Clustering image data as we have fuzzy k-means, clustering using direct clay distribution with GIF sampling. Cool. Okay, I'll check it out. Oh, 1 second. I lost it. Yeah. Thank you for the suggestion, Ratna. Sora, will you be uploading more videos on AI in your channel? Probably 2-3 videos per month, maybe, if you have time. Thank you. I would love to be making 2-3 videos per month. It takes me a long time to make the videos. It takes me a long time to understand. Making the videos not that much, it's just to understand it, the concepts and the things in the super basic, like working out the basic example. Like what you see is a thing that takes me months. So I will try to put videos more often. Definitely, last year has been slow, but I will try to put. If I could put once a month, I think that would be great. And maybe one day I'll be able to dedicate like more of my chunk of time. But yeah, thank you for the suggestion. Damien says, background is philosophy, thought a lot about the ethics and philosophy of AI. I would love to. Yeah. Philosophy and ethics are definitely something very important, especially something like Google. Yeah, definitely. Big companies are starting to worry about it, and I think it's important that they worry about it more. One thing that you can do is share your knowledge. I mean, I found that sharing things on YouTube helps so much. Like, people start watching them, and I didn't even think there were gonna be that many people watching it, and people do care about it. So why don't you write some blog posts, or why don't you make some videos on ethics on AI, and we can share them, and just to get the word around, because I think it starts with the people. It's a bottom-up approach. Like, once everybody's interested in ethics and AI, then the companies will start getting interested. I think they maybe don't get interested that much on their own, or maybe they do, but it's good to just make it a thing, like make it a talking point. So the more you can help in that, and the internet is there for that, so the more you can make it a talking point, the better. Parkash, TensorFlow versus PyTorch. That's a great question, and it's kind of like asking me for my mother tongue. Like, I think I started with TensorFlow, so I like it more. The original TensorFlow was a little too complicated. Keras has a really nice syntax, and I think now they are about the same. Like, now they have the Keras syntax for that, so I'll go for that one because it's the one I started with. But I look at PyTorch, and I've trained a few way we think about neural networks. So I'm a big fan of both. Yeah, I like both of them. So yeah, and they're both just as powerful. I don't think there's one that's more powerful than the other one. What advice do you have? Oh, thank you for the question, Parkash. Aisha says, what advice do you have for budding data scientist? Yes, go for it. I think a data scientist, we tend to think that it's like medicine, right? Like, I couldn't become a doctor tomorrow, or like law. I couldn't just go and become a lawyer tomorrow. But data science is different, and it's not that it's easier or harder. It's that it's multifaceted. Everyone has dealt with data. Everyone has their own way of thinking. And if you come from a different field, and if you want to go to data science, you should go to data science. My data science teams have been people from all walks of life. There's ecologists, there's sociologists, mathematicians, engineers, everything. You don't have to be a coder. You don't have to be a statistician, because you bring your own way of thinking. And that's very important. The point of AI is we're trying to make computers think like human. And we're trying to make them think like every human, not just like a computer scientist or a mathematician, right? Like every human. And so every way of thinking is necessary. So whatever your original discipline is, if it's different data science, you have something to add to the table. And so learning a few things, also pick your battles. Do you want to learn a lot of serious programming in Python? Or do you want to learn tools like Tableau and SQL and just kind of focus more on the analysis of the data? Whatever you like, don't feel like you have to conquer all the fields, all the aspects of data science. With your original knowledge and some tools, you are a data scientist. So my advice, Isha, is go for it. Roshni, thank you. Glad you like the explanations. Can you share something more into GAN and reinforcement learning? Yes, that is in the plans. I'm currently looking at GANs. I'm trying to understand them. Until I understand them in this sort of basic way, that's when I make the video. So right now I have GANs and reinforcement learning. I understand sort of, the formulas. Like I could make a video that's like about the same as all of them, but I'm trying to really grasp a very simple, in a very simple concept. Like I'm trying to build a very simple concept of a GAN. So when that happens, I will be making videos. But I do have GANs and RL in their horizon. Let's see. Joseph says, currently a DL from Udacity. Congratulations. Glad you like it. Suvajit says, I have watched all of them. Thank you. If you have any advice for some autoencoders and RBM, it just escapes me. What is some autoencoders? I don't have anything, but I would love. This is another thing I'm trying to learn. Denoising autoencoders, Boltzmann machines. Unsupervised learning is definitely a direction in which I'm gearing, because that's just the main thing right now, or the next big thing. I think unsupervised learning. So yes, all these topics are on the horizon. Thank you. Sorry if I butcher people's names. Akansh, thank you for the question. How can I start with generative deep learning? There's a lot of great tutorials. My suggestion is go through a tutorial and build a simple GAN. So there are some GANs. There are some GANs on like MNIST. I can share some links. There are some GANs on like very simple data sets that you build it, and they build, for example, like generators for letters or numbers and things like that. Go through one of those, because it's very simple to code a GAN in TensorFlow. And then from there, you can go in any direction you want. But yeah, build a simple one through a tutorial, and then start building more complex ones. Vidya says, is a PhD necessary in good institute better than online courses? A PhD in data science? I don't know. To be honest, if you have one, that's fantastic, but it's not necessary. It's not a requirement. PhDs are not a requirement. As a matter of fact, with the rise of online education, I don't think degrees are that much of a requirement. Of course, if you have a degree, that's wonderful. But I've learned all my data science online. All the machine learning I've learned through videos. So it depends on what you want. I mean, if you want to get into the research, then a PhD is good. If you want to, just work as a data scientist, start getting your hands in, I recommend an online course. Either way, you should start taking online courses and see how it goes. But it depends. I mean, if you have 5 years to spare, then a PhD can be a lot of fun, but certainly not required. There's great online courses, and you learn a lot in the craft by doing. Chandrakanta says, what is your thinking on deep base? You know what? I don't know a lot of deep base, so I may have to punt on that one, but I'll find out. Let me just write things down. I'm learning. Yeah, thank you for the question. Pranavatiyani, thank you, says, who is your inspiration? How did you start with ML? Inspiration in machine learning? Well, let's say that I have many people are my inspiration. Many people I've worked with, or that I've seen. Actually, my first inspiration was Carl Sagan. When I was a child, I kept watching Cosmos. I don't know if you've seen that show, but that was amazing. The guy explains about space and science for like an entire show, and so I was glued to the TV when I was a child. So I've always wanted to explain things to people on a screen. So that's nice that actually happened. So that is so I lost the question. So yeah, he was my inspiration at the beginning, and then I've worked with great people. My PhD advisor was very inspiring, the way he explained things, and many people I met in mathematics and were very. There was in Colombia, I was in the Math Olympiads, and the lady who started it, she was very inspiring to me as well. So yeah, I've been blessed with a lot of great mentors. And how did I start with ML? Just casually. I was doing mathematics. I was a research mathematician, and I was teaching in university. And then things started happening. I started learning how to program more for my work, and I didn't know how to program that much. And I got more into it. And then the buzzword was there, so I started taking a little bit of courses. And then when I started working at Google, I ended up in a machine learning team. So that's when I said, okay, I really have to learn this machine learning team, because I entered as a normal programmer. So that's kind of how I started. And when I started learning machine learning courses through Android classes, I realized that a lot of it I knew already, because it was linear regression. And I was like, okay, well, this is machine learning with machine learning. And then I just kind of keep going. Rohan says, hello, Luis. What skills would you suggest to master for an aspiring data analytics? Great question. Skills. I would say that probability is very important. Knowing that, I would say that, math is important, but I put a lot of emphasis on the concepts of math, not so much the formulas, right? Like, there's just concepts. So you need to learn probability. You need to learn to code. As I said, pick your battles. If you want to learn to code in Python, that's the best thing to do. But if you know a bunch of tools like SQL or Tableau, it depends on how far in the rabbit hole of code you want to be in. So definitely learn some toolings. Definitely have a good basis of probability and statistics. Linear algebra and calculus too, but they can come later. Definitely probability and statistics. And finding a problem that's interesting for you. I think the data is very important. We all have sort of a toy case that we want to work on. So that's important too. Thank you. Naveen says, Udacity is offering free nano degree for us in Europe. Why not India? I know. If I had control over that, I would. I'm not sure what the rationale is. I was very happy to see that they're offering free nano degrees, but I don't know why they only chose Europe and US. However, you should look for free courses. They have a lot of good free courses. For example, there's two I can think of in deep learning. One actually I teach. It's just Google search free. I'll put the link here in a minute. Free PyTorch deep learning course. Or look for my webpage. It's Serrano.Academy. Okay. And in there, I have a tab called courses, and then there's the link to that free course. So there's a lot of free material you can use. I'll check with them and see if they're planning to offer in India. I have no control anymore because I don't work over there, but I hope they may be interested in offering in other places as well. Yeah. IA Soto says, because my university I had to learn to program in Prolog. Is it used in the industry or is it a waste of time? Well, I don't know Prolog. It's I'm guessing it's not that used in the industry, but I don't think it was a waste of time, because every language adds. It's like if you learn a language to speak, you're just more knowledgeable, right? So because at the end of the day, it's the concepts of programming. So the more I find that, for example, I had to learn C++ when I was at Google, and obviously that one's used a lot, but I never used C++. but it helped me a lot with my programming, because when you learn a different programming language, it's like learning yeah, some different language, like learning German or Italian or something. Like it helps you know more about the nuances of programming, and it makes you a better programming. So the good programmers that I know, they know a lot of languages, and so even the useless ones. So I think it's not a waste of your time, but I would say try to put that knowledge into something like Python, and then you'll be a powerful machine. Or maybe you know Python already, which is great. Deepak says, how to convert a Cafe model into PB format. Yikes! I've never used Cafe. Sorry about that. So I don't really know. If I find out, I'll put it, but I have no idea. Sorry, Deepak, but thank you for the question. Oh, 1 second, I lost things. Okay, I may have to go a little faster. Sorry, this thing. Wow, there's a lot more questions that I can think of. Okay, let me go faster. Thank you so much for the interest. If I skip it, I apologize. Hi, Six. Thank you for the videos. Joseph says, how do you get started in AI? Well, I think I just mentioned it, but no, I know PhD is necessary. Darlene says, make more free videos. I will. Thank you. At some, as hidden Markov models did. So as soon as it does, I will. Sander says about Gartner, 85% of AI projects will fail. Maybe that's true. I'll have to see. I think a lot of them will fail, but that's not a reason to discard AI. I think if you look at the things that work, like, if you work on a model and build it and really get it to work, it can make a lot of great impact. So maybe 85% of the times you'll fail. Maybe it's 90% of times you'll fail with AI, but at the end of the day, when you get it to work, things are very useful. Cool. Alejandro says, taking the AI nano degree, background is industrial engineering. I want to use AI in cant improv. What's cant? Content? Cant? So I'm not sure how to answer that one, Alessandro. Maybe you want to elaborate on what cant improv is? Thank you. Arturo says, what's the field of AI that excites you the most? Well, lately, definitely in supervised learning. And when I look at GANs and when I look at what things can be built with a GAN, I get fascinated. So I think definitely generative machine learning is what excites me the most. Farwell says, make a video on advanced statistics. Thank you. I'll put it in the queue. Ashwin says, make a serious kind of a video. Like a series, or like a series of bunch of videos, or like a video that's serious. But oh, you mean or like a time series one? Okay, there's many ways to interpret that question. Make a time series. I have one on recurrent neural networks. You may be interested, and one on hidden Markov models. But I'll definitely, time series is one thing that I'm interested. Merit says, does OpenCV library mandatory for computer vision jobs and deep learning frameworks inadequate for computer vision? I mean, I think deep learning frameworks depends on what accuracy you want to obtain. If you're very much into computer vision, there may not be super helpful, and I don't work that much in computer vision, but OpenCV is definitely, I would say mandatory, but it's one of the basic tools. So I would say, yeah, if you're serious about computer vision, it's OpenCV. Santiago Camacho, hi, how's it going? Friend of mine from high school, and actually from Math Olympiads as well. What do you need to be able to dedicate more time to make it videos? You can send me money. No, I'm kidding. I don't. What do you? I just life gets on the way of my favorite hobby. Maybe one day I'll just go independent and only make videos. But right now, since I have a job on the side, then that's what keeps me busy. But I'll be trying to put some more. Deepak, how to convert Cafe. Sorry I don't know Cafe, Deepak. But hope you can figure it out, and then let me know. Woodcrypt says, I think it's great that you can have it. Yeah, I don't know Metropolis. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm you know what? I'm very happy to say when I don't know something and when I don't understand something. I think actually the basis of what I do is that I say, I really don't understand this, and then I can say that for 6 months and be proud of not understanding until I understand it. So I think thank you very much. So I think it's important. I think it's important to say when we don't know and we don't understand. That's just the first step to learn something. So thank you for your comment. Carolina says, how can you share recommendations on how to prepare for data science job interviews? Yeah, that's a great question. I would say 3 things. You have to know some programming or some tools. There are programming questions, depend on what level the data science job is, but at least SQL, escapes me, Python. SQL, Python, something like Tableau. Depends. Ask them what technical requirements you want, and there are some great tools to learn these. Let me write them down. I have some markers. I'm gonna write down some pages that you can learn for programming. One is HackerRank. So these 3 are very useful for practicing programming. So practice your programming questions. Then also probability. Learn lots of probability questions. There's a lot on the web. Like just search for probability data science interview questions, and you'll see more than you'll ever want. And then also machine learning models. Like if you have, they will ask you, or they may ask you about machine learning models, and have you done one? So for example, let's say you went on Kaggle. Kaggle is a very important place, or you took a course and you build a classifier for a NIST for the digits. And so you explain it, and you say, they may ask you, okay, how did you build it? What did you do to clean up the data? So like make sure you have had one project on machine learning that you've done. So 3 things: programming, probability statistics questions, and having worked on a machine learning project that you can describe end to end. That's at least the stuff that I asked when I interviewed data science. And also very important when you have an interview is to the human skills. Like anybody who interviews, imagining that you're working with them. So if they can't picture themselves working with you, they won't hire you. So they think of them like if you're enjoying the interview, they're enjoying it as well. And just make sure you talk to them, ask them questions. It's not solve it just yourself, but like to talk with them and imagine that you're actually at work with them. So even think, enjoy it, and they'll enjoy it too, and that goes pretty far. Let's see. Alessandro says, taking the Udacity Nano degree for leaders. That's fantastic. I still don't know what cant improvise is. Sorry. I can't. MD Rakibul says, hello, I know Python, but I'm weak in algorithms and data structure implementations. And failing on return interviews. Any resource suggestions and advice? So my favorite algorithms and data structures class, that's where I really learned all that stuff, was from this guy. It's on Coursera. I don't know if it's still available, but it's on Coursera. I'm writing here. Algorithms. And the name of the professor is Tim Roughgarden. That course is amazing. So he goes through it in detail, but also like very like conceptual. I really enjoyed it. So check out that course. I don't know if it's on free or paid or on YouTube, but take a look at it. There's also a very good book on algorithms. It's called the MIT book on algorithms. So just Google search the MIT book on algorithms and data structures. And that really helped me. I think there's a course in Udacity, a free course on data structures and algorithms. So take a look at that one. And then, if you know Python, you have a really good base. So yeah, good luck. Thorsten says, what do you think about the hermeneutic circle? Yikes, that's pretty interesting. It's a lot of things I don't know. I don't know what the hermeneutic circle is. Let me look at it. You might. Oh, nice. Yeah, sorry, Thorsten. I may have to punt on that one because I don't know what it is, but it sounds really cool. I'm gonna just take everything that I don't know from here and learn it, and then I'm gonna be like brilliant by a few days. But thank you for the question. Nikotuba says, "Can you tell me some about your friend who's a sociologist and data scientist? I have a similar background. I'd like to learn how to combine social scientists." Yeah, that's a great question. I never worked that much. There was a sociologist in my previous team and a psychologist, and I mean they had done work with a lot of data. Like they had done studies. My friend had done, not, I don't know in detail, but had done some studies on social interaction, and he had studied some statistics, and he had sort of, so that really helped. So that's pretty much all I can say. But what I'm saying is that he had when it came to data about population, when it came to understanding humans, he understand them at a way that was very useful for us. For example, for making recommendations, like if you understand society a little better, that can be really helpful and can go way far. Yeah. Hi Gokan. Hi Subhajit. Some autoencoders in RDM. I will do. Yeah. Arturo says, after AlphaGo, what is the next big challenge in AI and reinforcement learning? Ooh, that's a great question. After AlphaGo, I don't know what. I mean, I think a lot of things, like making a self-driving car, to me is very important. A bot that actually, but there's bots that talk, but one that actually, talks. Enforcement learning. Yeah, I think those would be big challenges. Yeah, thanks for the question. Balajogi says, "What would be the future of quantum machine learning?" Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's more like the future of quantum computing. I think when they can build, they can build small quantum computers, but when they can build a big enough one, definitely many things will be done much easier, much faster. So in particular, AI algorithms, you'll be able to break a lot of bottlenecks and stuff. But I think the main thing is, what's the future of quantum computing, which I think hope is build a quantum computer. Gokul says, more videos of general models will do. Thank you. Actually, what are the steps to be an expert on automotive and AI by combining them? Great. I don't know that much about that, but I would say, yeah, self-driving car. Is that what you refer to, self-driving car? So yeah, in that case, yeah, really combine deep learning with the principles of a self-driving car. I recommend there's a nano degree at Udacity, is very popular. A few different places there are, but that one, if you're interested in that, I would recommend that nano degree. Arturo says, what makes GANs so important? What are the coolest applications for them? I think what's special about GANs is that it goes one step beyond, because so far we've used machine learning to answer questions or to predict things or to very basic tasks, right? Like answer question, or take this box and put it there, or like just very like the things that are not what makes us human, right? But when you go to GANs and they're painting pictures, they're writing things, like I think it just goes one step beyond in making the computer really think like a human. Because the difference between looking at a picture of a dog and saying that's a dog and actually drawing a dog, like that's way harder, right? Because they're really understanding the distributions that happen in the world. So I would say that's what makes them so important. It opens a door. Applications, I've only seen fun applications like deep fakes and stuff like that, but I have no doubt that they will be finding lots of applications, and I hope they're not evil. I hope they're mostly nice. Thank you, Damien. Damien says, I learned mathematics. How do you think someone can build the right mathematical intuitions, not only being good at calculation, but creativity and curiosity that helps me around new discoveries? Absolutely. I think you nailed it there. I studied math formally in university and grad school, and even then I couldn't even then many times I had no mathematical intuition. I just knew the formulas, and I think people focus on that a lot. I would say just hit it with the same hammer. Like I look at something, for example, like I don't know, last year I understood eigenvalues. I knew them from college, right? But to me it was a formula, but I hit it and watch videos on it, and I drew pictures and stuff until finally it started making sense geometrically. So yeah, just be stubborn. and hit it. There's my favorite math channel that I highly, very highly recommend you. This guy, you've probably seen it because he has many subscribers. 3 blue, 1 brown. 3 blue, 1 brown. He explains mathematics in a very intuitive way. So if you go through all his videos, you'll just come out a better mathematician. I think it's so yeah. Keep an eye for those things. Suvajit says self-organized maps, RBM. Yeah, RBM restricted Boltzmann machine. Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to understand. I don't know self-organized maps. I know a bit of restricted Boltzmann machines, but it's also one of the topics I'm trying to understand better. So hopefully a video will come out soon. Rohan says, oh, thank you, Rohan. Yes, I am answering one at a time, and I think I'm a little behind. And there's also one. So patience, and we'll get through all of them. Hi, Gokan, how's it going? It's going well. How are you? Damien, also tell us how you got into mathematics. You want a story? Okay. How I got into mathematics. I was a very bad student in school. I was very slow. And so I failed mathematics all the time. And but I really liked puzzles. So like I liked, the little puzzles, little riddles, things like that. And so actually I had little games and magazines that had those, and I enjoyed that, but I hated mathematics with a passion. I was in math class and I was like blank. And one day they said, if you wanna if you wanna lose 2 hours of class, come and take this exam in the math Olympiads. And I was like, okay, well, I lose 2 hours of class, so that's fantastic. So I went and took the math Olympiad exam, and I found out it was not math. There was very little formulas. It was just the same puzzles I liked. So I started solving them, and I enjoyed it, and it was fun. And I came out and I thought nothing of it. And then 2 weeks later, the teacher, the math teacher, this is in grade 8, so I was like 14, 15. And the teacher comes and says hi to me. I'm like, the math teacher never says hi to me. But he said hi, and I was like, oh, hello. And he said, oh, congratulations, you were first. And I was like, oh, first in the class? Wow, I've never been first. And he's like, no, you were first in the country. And I was like, what? And so it turns out that I did place first in the country because I was not math, it was puzzles. And then so the prize for that, the punishment / prize, was they sent you to math camp in the summer vacations. And so I went and I loved it, because then I realized that math is not the formulas. Math is the concepts, right? Math is the there's a beauty to it, right? There's music behind, and we're too busy looking at the scales and the written music. Like we're too busy looking at the formulas, and there's something beautiful behind. So that's when I got hooked in math. I still was a terrible student in all the other subjects, unfortunately, but I got hooked at math, and I started doing math. So that was what I was passionate. Hi Mario, how's it going? Thank you. MDM, affordable alternative for Udacity courses that you recommend? Yes. Look here, Serrano.Academy. Go to the tab that says free courses, and there's a link to one free course on deep learning that is pretty lengthy. So Udacity, if you look carefully, it has a lot of free courses. Coursera has a lot of free courses that you can audit. So don't click on pay, but click on audit, and then you get the course for free. So there are some very good courses there. Udemy has great courses. Just look around. I haven't paid a cent in my online education, and I've got some really good stuff. So it's, if you look around for free stuff. YouTube also has a lot of stuff. So yeah. Suraf says, how to be updated in deep learning field, as every week or so organizations release their new models every time? I know. I don't know how to keep updated in deep learning. When I finally understand something, they change it. But yeah, like just look at the blogs. The blogs are very important. The Google blogs, the company, NVIDIA, Apple, all those big companies, they just read them, and follow people who. There are people who have channels where they really care about the most recent stuff, right? So just kind of keep going. But if you figure out, tell me, because I'm trying to stay afloat. Vinay says, please start reinforcement learning. I will. I'm in the process of understanding it, but thank you for the suggestion. Thank you for liking the videos. Thorsten Klepp says for weekly updates, watch Henry AI Labs. Great. I haven't seen it, but Henry AI Labs is for everybody to watch. And deny future reinforcement learning. Yeah. Don't know exactly. I don't know that much about reinforcement learning, but I'm trying to make a video about it. Arturo says, how is it like to work at Apple? It's wonderful. It's a wonderful place. I really enjoyed it. I was in a very particular happy spot. That was the Apple University, which is kind of like a university. We teach courses internally. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it very much. Said says, hi, Luis. Hi, nice to see you again. How's it going? You completed chapter 5, and thank you for thank you for reading chapter 5 and for giving me feedback. Everybody, if you're reading the book, be like Said and send me feedback so I can make it better. Thank you. Marco, any recommendations about online degree courses for who would like to add data science skill to a scientific background? Yeah, I mean, the Udacity ones are pretty good. Data science, machine learning, and as I said, look in my page for a link to a free course on deep learning. What else? What else is good? I mean, yeah, other than Udacity, Coursera is good. Deep Learning AI. Coursera has a specialization from the University of Washington, machine learning specialization in Coursera. Check it out. That one's pretty good. Oh, and data. I think it's called Data Quest. Data Quest is really good. I think there's one Data Camp as well. It's pretty good. But Data Quest. DataQuest.io is very good. I learned a lot of stuff there. They have tutorials. They don't have videos, but they are tutorials that go sort of step by step, and then it quizzes you, and you can learn a lot of stuff there. So DataQuest. Okay. Sora, I'm still learning something new every day. What are tips for learning ML online and not losing motivation? Yeah, that's very true. That happens a lot. Losing motivation is easy when you're learning online, when you're at home. And I think we've all seen this the last few days that we have to stay at home in front of the computer. Yeah, I mean, just find something that you're passionate about. I think I've started a lot of courses and I haven't finished that many. But when I find one that is amazing, I can't stop. I binge watch it. It's like I'm watching Netflix. So look around for things like that. Don't stick into, if at the beginning it sounds like it's not clicking or something, just move to try to really find something good. And yeah, pick your battles, right? Like if you like the programming part, then just keep programming and keep making the labs and stuff. If you like to watch the videos, focus on those more. Just try to find a way to enjoy it. I think when we enjoy something, we can do a lot better on it, because then we have infinite fuel, right? So that's pretty much what I suggest. Okay, I'm gonna start speeding up. Pranavatiyani, thank you. Hope I said it right. How you see the future of AI in the coming years? Okay, so there's some repeated that I answered, but I'll just follow up. What is your view on application in biomedicine? That's a great question. Well, you can see in coronavirus right now that it's there's a lot of applications, right? They're modeling proteins using deep learning. They are modeling, the spread of the disease in a population. They're looking at scans and using deep learning to analyze them to see if they have coronavirus or not. So I think the main thing is biomedicine will find applications for existing algorithms. So you just have to keep an open mind and really be open to apply it to medicine and improve the lives of doctors and of patients. Yeah. Vinay says reinforcement learning. Working on it, Vinay. Yes. Hopefully soon I'll have a video on that. Okay. Rocky Bull says, okay, so I think I answered that one already. So thank you for repeating it, Rocky Bull. Oh boy, there's a lot of questions, which is great. Thank you for keeping them coming. So thanks, Vinay. Yes, reinforcement learning for sure. Mohammed says we need more video series explanation in depth in the area of probability and statistics, especially information theory. I do have a video information theory on Shannon information theory, so check it out. It has I don't know the name, but it has the word entropy and Shannon information theory. I think you'll enjoy that. But yes, I do. There's so many things, so many videos, so many things to do. But probability and statistics are my favorite thing. It's actually what I taught in university when I was there. And there's a lot of things there, so I would like to do more videos on that. Akshay says that in my website there's an error. Whoa, I'm sorry. Thank you very much for letting me know, Akshay. I will look at the link, and maybe it's wrong. But if you Google search free Udacity PyTorch deep learning course, or any combination of those words, you'll get that free course. Yeah, Ian says, hope you can upload more courses on YouTube channel. Really helpful. Thank you. I am working on it. Yeah. Mubashir says, where do you think deep learning and AI are related to quantum? This is something I'm just learning right now, so I cannot talk with expertise, but definitely there's implementations of deep neural networks in quantum computers that I think are very interesting and are the next step, because there's a lot of bottlenecks in training a deep learning model. So I think quantum models will be very helpful for that. Okay, a lot of reinforcement learning questions. Vinash, Manoj. Manoj says, any ideas on projects using reinforcement learning? That's kind of the coolest one. Go to OpenAI. OpenAI definitely has ideas for that. Let me write it down. This is some great technology I have here with my board. It may be OpenAI or Open.ai, but OpenAI has all these scenarios for reinforcement learning. They have little games and stuff that you can implement. So yeah, definitely. So much reinforcement learning questions that I've decided that I'm going to make videos about reinforcement learning. Thank you very much. Is it true that barrier of entry in the industry, says Suraf, for freshers is too high for machine learning, deep learning? No, I don't believe that. There are too many data science jobs, and the barrier for entry, it's possible. I mean, I think there are so many data science jobs that you can start and learn as you go. But I think if you learn machine learning, if you take some courses, do some projects, there is a place for you. So keep going. There's the quantum computing question. So I'm going to skip the ones. Thank you that people have asked them again. I appreciate that. I'll skip them if I see that it's already been asked. So thank you. Dream Builder says, please make a playlist on teaching interesting topics of deep learning. We're on it. Yeah, I'm on it. I have a video on deep learning neural networks, one on CNNs and one on RNNs. So I recommend them. Sander says, why do not use code examples in your videos? Actually, one reason that I don't is because code gets old really quickly. Like if I make a video about a concept, in 20 years, that concept's still the same, but the code is going to look like dinosaurs, right? And that's something that happened in Udacity. We used to put code in the videos, and then we had to update them every 6 months. So that's why I don't put code in the videos. But I do try to make them as algorithmic as possible. And what I do plan, which is, I mentioned before, I want to start making some more like code attached to the video. So I make a video and then a code, like a GitHub link to it. Some of them do, and if you look at my GitHub, you'll see some stuff. Yeah, if anybody wants to help me make code on the videos, like a demo, and then I'll link it to the video, that'd be fantastic. So yeah. Reinforcement learning. Shehzada says, ooh, could you make a video on capsule networks? Yes, thank you. That stuff is really cool. If you know for those who don't know capsule networks, yeah, they're trying to see more like a human sees, right? Like a computer sees a screen with pixels, but if you rotate it, all the pixels change, whereas the capsule network tries to grab objects, and it really measures how more about how people see. So yeah, I'm definitely been reading on capsule network. So hopefully if I understand it properly soon, I will put a video on that. KD says, what is dimension reduction? Dimensionality reduction is very interesting, right? Let's say you have a table of data that is very wide. You have a lot of columns, right? A table of data that has many columns, and you say, well, you know what? I kind of want to make it into one that is 2 columns or 3 columns. So kind of losing as little information as possible. So maybe finding that this one is the sum of this plus this minus this, etc. So that's dimensionality reduction. It's the same thing as if I have some. It's like taking a picture. If you have something in 3 dimensions, but you take a picture of it and then you get something in 2 dimensions, you've reduced dimensionality, right? Because you went from 3 to 2. So it's like taking a picture of your data. I have a video on PCA, principal component analysis, that I highly recommend. So take a look at it and then you'll learn dimensionality reduction. Principal component analysis. Let's see. So Vinay is asking about reinforcement learning. Yes, again, I will make videos on that. Harsh Gupta says, what is the best way to start NLP? I would say, well, there's a nano degree at Udacity on NLP if you want to check it out. There's a lot of courses. I think I would just take a course on NLP. You may know more than you think if you have to start NLP, because it's just applying the same algorithms to text. But yeah, take an online course and make, look at Kaggle competitions and start. There are some techniques that are very basic that help you get from text into turning text into data, like stemming and lemmatization and stuff like that. So learn those. But yeah, that's kind of my suggestion. KD says, could you make a video on SVD? Actually, that escapes me. What says SVD stand for? Oh, singular value decomposition. Yeah, totally. Yeah. That's an interesting one. Yeah. I have one on matrix factorization. So it's not using SVD, it's using more like a gradient descent. But yeah, that's definitely on the one of the SVD is one of the topics that I've been trying to understand more. Hi, Vinay. Yes, I'm working on reinforcement learning, I promise. Amin Sadhu says R. I don't know if it's a question of the language R or the letter R, but yeah, the coding language R is pretty useful if you want to elaborate on the question. If not, yes, dimension reduction. Hi, Avinash. Hi, back. R says, how to start learning NLP. I just mentioned. Dominic says, hola, Luis. Hola. Is there a path to follow in order to learn all the math required to start with AI? I think my videos work. So that's you can learn the sort of the beginning of them, but for the math, yeah, that's interesting. A path to learn the math behind AI. You really have to learn probability, linear algebra, and calculus in that order. First, probability and statistics. Maybe Khan Academy. Khan Academy may have some of those basics. Yeah, but my suggestion is start learning AI. And then when you see a math thing, go learn the math thing. Don't first learn all the math and then learn all the AI. That's the only suggestion I have. KD Lee, what's principal component analysis? Yeah, look at the video for principal component analysis, and that has that answer. It's using eigenvalues and eigenvector to go from like a lot of dimensions to very few dimensions. It's a very beautiful technique. Paula says, from your point of view, who's going to be the biggest AI superpower, China or US? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know. I hope whoever it is, that they use it for good. Hi, Pratap. Hi, Mert. Which topics have to be covered for confidentially? Say, I'm a machine learning engineer. I think if you learn classification, regression, and some unsupervised learning, that's good for a machine learning engineer. Deep learning is good too, but that may come as you work, as you go. And if you know the words, like, for example, what's overfitting, what's underfitting, what's up training, what's testing, all those kind of things. If you know those concepts, I think you're definitely a machine learning engineer. Yeah. Ayat says, hi from Jordan. Hi back at Jordan. How are you doing, Ayat? Great. I'm glad you're taking the deep learning nano degree. Thorsten says, hermeneutics is about what you learn first in life, the word, the letter of the sentence. Cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, I'm going to read more on that. Sounds pretty cool. Ayat says, what's the best book to learn ML and neural networks? The best book to learn ML and neural networks is Grokking Machine Learning. And I heard real life problems from working on companies. ML engineer is boring and also about cleaning the data. Is that correct? Okay, so one at a time. The book, of course, I recommend my Grokking Machine Learning, but there's also very good ones. A friend of mine, Andrew Trask, wrote one called Grokking Deep Learning, which is also very good. So I recommend that one. And is it true that if you're an ML engineer, it's boring and it's all about cleaning the data? I'm sorry. Yes, that's the most thing you do, because it's the only thing a human can do and not a computer, right? Like the models are beautiful, but they're one line of code. So yeah, you will be cleaning a lot of the data. You will be processing it. You will be, the machine learning part is done automatically, and then you are interpreting the results and presenting them to people and deciding between models. So there's a lot of that, but you know what? It's not boring for a single second. It's very interesting, especially if you're working on an application that you like, and it's something that's very interesting. Yeah. Saurav said, researchers have said backpropagation does not mimic the human brain. So is there some perspective change for this algorithm in terms of how we make analogy? Yeah, that's interesting how they work on how they think about it from the brain perspective. Certainly, some things, as I said, don't work like the human brain. Like computer vision does not work like the human brain, because if I have this and I do this, every human goes, oh yeah, that's the same object. But the computer will get confused because the pixels change completely if I rotate something. So things like there are things being done to make computers see more like human, and I think also to think more like human. But yeah, I don't. I think I think Jeff Hinton in particular is always concerned of how to make computers think more like humans. And backpropagation in some way it does mimic, because it's kind of like dividing. It's like saying some like, for example, the cells, right? Like they may do some backpropagation because they don't all become the same thing. Some cells become brain and some cells become skin and things like that. And that's what backpropagation really is, right? Like this brain cell is going to pick its battle and it's going to do this, and this one's going to do that. So in some way it mimics, but in many ways it doesn't. So I think research is always in that direction. Yeah. Kelvin says, I'm new to machine learning and I would like to know if I should code without libraries or with libraries. Definitely with libraries. Definitely. Yeah. I would never code a neural network on my own. I think I did it the first time to try to understand it, and then I understand why libraries are. Always use a library. PyTorch and TensorFlow are very useful. Yep. Good question. Saurav says 3 Blue 1 Brown and StatQuest are the best. Yes, 3 Blue 1 Brown is fantastic, and StatQuest is also very, very good with Josh Starner, I think. He also makes a lot of live videos and stuff. So yeah, follow him. Follow them. Joseph Murad, I'm looking for knowledgeable people in AI engineering and neuroscience. Oh yeah, he lost the question. Sorry, this thing keeps reloading. 1 sec, please. Joseph said, I'm looking for knowledgeable people in AI engineering or science. Would you be open for a podcast, and how can I contact you? Twitter. I am always open for a podcast. I do a bunch of them. If you want to message me on Twitter, this is my Twitter, Luis Likes Math. Feel free to message me there, or find the contact information in my page. There's my email even, so feel free. Serrano.Academy. I'm contactable everywhere. So it may take a little to respond. Sometimes it takes time to respond. I appreciate it. But yeah, for a podcast, I'm always down. Saurav says math is the intuition. Yes, I think math is the intuition. Geometry intuition, probability intuition to me is more important than the formulas. Abhishek, sir, right now I am in dilemma. I have started preparing for GRE so that I can do MS in data science. Fantastic, maybe in USA, but now people are saying that the industry experience is preferable over degree in data. Yeah, it's more about what your life permits. If you can do a master's, if you have a year or 2 years to spare and do a master's, feel free to apply. If you come to the USA for a master's or to other places, you'll open opportunities, and that definitely helps. Or if you can get a job in machine learning wherever you are, like start working on it, then both work, and it's more about what your life allows you to do, and what kind of lifestyle do you want to have, the student or the worker. But I don't think either one is preferred. Like nobody will be like, oh, you should have. No, like there's stuff for everybody. So whatever you prefer. Alejandro Morales, my very best friend, is there. Thank you. Hi, Alejandro. How are you? Vishal says, how can I make myself good in natural language processing? Yeah. Just, I would say, go to Kaggle data sets and start, take a course and practice with Kaggle data sets. Joseph says, Miguel Morales he released his book in reinforcement area. Miguel Morales is a friend of mine. Yeah, his book is very good. And just printed the one from Barton Sutton, quite mathematic, but have to delve into that. Yeah, Miguel puts a lot of effort into examples and into explaining things properly. So I highly recommend his book on RL. He came to teach some courses with us at Udacity, and he's a great instructor. Joseph says Data Quest is the same as Data Camp. Fantastic. I had no idea. Trish, how's it going? Trish and I used to work together at Udacity. How are you? I hope you're doing great. Arturo, what do you think is the field that AI can have the most impact? All of them. I think AI, I cannot think of a field where AI cannot have great impact. So, things like medicine, things like just anything in general, making our lives better. Yeah. Devendra says, I can't understand hypothesis in Python programming. Hypothesis, I'm not sure what you mean. But maybe I can't either. But yeah, just keep going with Python. And if you have a more elaborate, if you want to elaborate, let me know. Mohammed, thank you very much. Thank you. Devendra, more videos on statistics with Python programming. I will make more videos on statistics, and as I said, I will make more coding walkthroughs on Python. Can AI be used for game mods? What's game mods? Like playing games? So if it is, yeah, then definitely AI or reinforcement learning is that their playground is playing games. So yeah. This Salem says, can you do something about gradient boost, XGBoost? Absolutely. That's one of my very next things I'm working on. In my book, I'm writing the XGBoost section. I haven't written it yet because I'm still almost understanding it. I understand it with formulas, but not in the pure sort of conceptual way that I like. But as soon as I do, XGBoost will be there. Yes, AI is used for game mods and for playing games like Go, for example. Yeah. True Lover, thank you very much. Thank you. V9, is there video lectures in line with PRML? I mean, videos that follows PRML from, the Bishop book. I love that book, actually. I learn a lot from it. I read it slowly. Video that are lectures that are in line. I'm going to say that probably Andrew Ng has the most in-line approach with the book is, I don't remember what PRML stands for, but it's a book by Bishop that is very good, very mathematical. So I would say that Andrew Ng is probably the one that thinks like that the most. So look at his videos. Hola, Dominic from Mexico. Hi, Mike. Thank you. Any interested in random component analysis? I don't know random component analysis, so I will look at it, and sounds interesting. So if I understand it, I'll make a video on it. Like I promised, about 1,000 videos in this stream, so I hope I can get a bunch of them done. Ruffle says, can you tell something about supervised dimensionality reduction? There's supervised dimensionality reduction? Because the one I've seen is always unsupervised, right? Like LDA is unsupervised, PCA is unsupervised. So I'm not sure, but I do. I will take a look what supervised is, dimensionality reduction is. Mubashir says, how to avoid being outdated in ML AI deep learning as it is getting updated every day in a way. I know, man. If you figure it out, let me know, because I get outdated all the time. My philosophy is, as long as I'm always learning something and working on something, then I'll get outdated. But a day doesn't have more hours, so I just always be reading and always be looking at things. And don't be hard on yourself if like something new comes out. You don't have to learn immediately, right? Like pick your battles. Like you want to learn, this particular field or that one. Like don't feel ignorant if there's an entire field you're not updated on, or things like that. Nobody knows the whole thing. This is such a big subject that just be kind to yourself. Ruffle, are you done with the book? By the way, I'm on it. I'm hard at work writing it these days. I'm writing chapter 9, and then after that I'm chapter 8, and then I'm done with the bulk, and then I'm going to be doing some exercises and some mini things on the middle. So maybe 4 months or something. I thank you. I need to push. Mike again says, I'd love to see some material on GANs. Absolutely. GANs is definitely something I'm interested. So I will hopefully have some videos on GANs soon. Navani says, what is your thoughts on privacy preserving AI, federated learning, and differential privacy? That stuff is interesting. And yes, Andrew Trask, I was going to say Andrew Trask, he's the guy to ask for that. He's definitely an expert. I think that's very important. I think privacy preserving AI is very important, because the more technology there is, the more they can invade your privacy. So when you preserve privacy, it's very important. When you train a model and you show the results, people can actually come back and recreate your data or big chunks of it. So we have to be very careful of that. So federated learning, privacy preserving learning are very useful to make a model that works well, yet when you look at it, you cannot come and infer what the data was. So people's personal information. So I think it's a very important field. AI self-awareness is possible in the next 50 years. I don't know. That would be interesting. I never know what to say, what's possible and not with AI, because every time I say something's not possible, they do it the next year. So probably, and then we'll see what happens. Damien says, if DeepMind finally created AGI and you could meet the world's first artificial general intelligence. Whoa, I love this question. Okay, if DeepMind finally created AGI and could you meet the world's first artificial general intelligence, what is the first thing you would say to it? Maybe have mercy. I'm not sure what I will do, what I will say to the first AI, but that's a great question to think about. What would you say? Like, if what would you guys say to the first AI if you met it? Hopefully it's not like a Terminator. Joseph says, okay, we'll do. Thank you very much. Glad to get in touch as well. What are the best projects you've seen using AI? Yeah, you name it. This is Pranavatiyani. Sorry if hope I'm pronouncing it right. The best projects I've seen using AI, you know what? It's more than the technicality and the sophistication. It's just the purpose, So anything that helps people. When I see AI curing people, helping them with medicine, things like that, I definitely admire that a lot. So the projects with purpose are the ones that I admire the most. Seong says, can you share this live and upload it to the channel? I will do, absolutely. This will be in the channel. Chunky says, have you used Scala? I'm trying Scala and I'm blown away by it. You know what? I've never used Scala. So I've always been interested in it, but I've never used it. So it's good. Maybe I'll give it a try and see how it is. Devendra says, I am non-programming guy. I started programming Python some months ago. Thanks to you, mostly all my concepts are clear. Thank you very much. Can you guide an ML path? I don't think there's an ML path, because we all have our own path. Mine was through education, right, to understanding, and it was kind of a windy path. I went here, worked as a programmer. Then it's hard to say a path, but trying to always learn is an important thing. If you wake up every day and you say, I want to learn something, that's the most important thing. But any combination between learning with courses and working on projects is what you should do. So always have Kaggle in mind. If somebody here hasn't seen Kaggle, is definitely recommend it. Kaggle competition. So combination of learning and applying is the way to go in ML. And don't be scared to start applying for jobs in data science. Don't be scared to jump into the industry. You don't need to know it all to start working. Nobody knows it all. And I'm also a non-programming guy. I came to programming later in life. So I think the important thing is you pick your battles, right? Like, do you know more about, are you more into data analysis? Are you more into coding? Are you more into this and that? So pick your battles. Amin says, For PRML, I recommend John Mitchell ML course available on YouTube. Fantastic. Thank you for the recommendation, John Mitchell. I will take a look. Here, let me write it down. And all right, thank you for the recommendation. I mean, Merit says, if we know an ML framework, is it easy to jump to another one? TensorFlow, PyTorch. Yes, I think the more frameworks you know, the better. It's like languages, right? So if you know TensorFlow means you can make models, and so switching to PyTorch is easier than if you were going to start in PyTorch. So never be afraid to learn a new framework. It's kind of like learning languages. If you speak Italian, French, and German, and you want to learn Portuguese, that's easier than if you just know languages, right? Yes, PRML. The book is Pattern Recognition from Bishop. Abhijit says, I am not good at math. How to improve my math skills for machine learning? I'm sure you're way better at math than you think, Abhijit. The thing is, we may be bad at formulas, right? Like, I think when you think math as formulas, then we're all bad at it, except for maybe a few people, but I'm not one of those. The reality of math is there's concepts, right? Like concepts of probability or concepts of geometry. For example, if something happens to you, if you walk in a street 10 times and 9 of them a dog beats you, what's the probability that you get bit by a dog? Well, we think it's 90%, right? So that's, to me, that's probability, right? If you can think in that way, then you know math. To write formulas like P of A given B, that stuff is just it's just the language. But I think you're way better in math than you think. But if you want to improve those skills, probably Khan Academy. Khan Academy is a great place for that. Khan Academy. And 3 blue, 1 brown. I'm going to write again because it's so good that it needs to be repeated. Khan Academy and 3 blue, 1 brown for mathematics material, so you can work on your math. But work on your machine learning as you work on your math. Don't just, I repeat this many times, but don't go and learn math and then learn machine learning. Like, learn it as you go. Nico Tuba says, what's the difference between boosting and bagging? Great. Yeah, that's a good interview question. Boosting, boosting is a smart way of doing bagging. If I do bagging, if I have a machine learning model and I want to build a bunch of them that are different, if I build, let's say 10 different machine learning models, all of them with random pieces of data, I'm doing bagging. But if I do the first model, and then I look at the errors of this model and I try to build a second model in a way that fixes the errors of the first one, like that it, then I build a third one in a way that it sort of fixes the errors of the first two, that's boosting, right? So I like the analogy of if I have a bunch of friends and I want to make them build and make them answer an exam, then if I pick them random questions and I give them to all of them and I make them answer them, that's bagging. But if I make the first person take an exam and then look at their correct answers and I say those are fine, and then look at the errors and make the second person study the errors of the first one and then so on, that's boosting. So it's like a smart way of bagging. That's the last chapter of my book, so you should take a look. Yeah. Jürgen says, which ML pipeline framework would you recommend? MLflow, Kubeflow? That's a great question. I don't know. I don't work a lot on pipelines. There's some. Yeah, no, I whatever you recommend, because I haven't really used pipelines very much. MLflow, Kubeflow, SageMaker is maybe one of those. Yeah, thank you. Damien says, if you met the world's first AGI, I would expect it to have a mastery of human language. So I would ask it to describe whether it has having conscious experiences, and if so, what are they like? That's great. I love it. Yeah. Meet the first world AGI, you would ask them what is your conscious experience. Mubashir says, how you keep motivation on writing that book? It takes enormous amounts of dedication. In a way, what kept you going on writing it? I know, man. Sometimes it's tough because making videos is so much easier than writing, because in making a video I can hand wave, whereas when I'm writing I have to be super formal, and so it takes a while, and it's hard sometimes. But I I don't know. I just push. But yeah, sometimes it's hard to find the dedication, and sometimes it's the opposite. I feel like I have so much to say that it just kind of flows, and then I go back and read it, and it's like, oh, that was terrible. I need to rewrite it completely. So I don't know. Just going. Yeah. Navaneet says, do you think online education is going to replace college education? That's a great question. I think so, but I don't know. I think education is very outdated. I think, unfortunately, we have the same education model as we had 1,000 years ago, which is scary, right? Imagine if hospitals looks the way they looked 1,000 years ago. That's scary. But universities do, right? And we have the same models, the same techniques that professor stands up and teaches to people, and they're sitting down and listening. Like that's kind of outdated. So I think definitely technology needs to be applied into education a lot more. Whether online education will replace it, I hope some form of it does, because it's the only way that reaches everybody in the world. College education is for the privileged, right? Like only few people can go to one, can pay one, can have the amount of time. You have to be in a certain stage in life. You have to be. There's many. It's very restricted, and so I wanted to reach everybody, and technology seems the only way. At the same time, there's that community aspect of education, of college education, that is hard to mimic online, right? So I don't know. The answer is I hope we figure out a technology way to educate everybody in the world while not losing the community aspect. Camila Peña, hey, that's my friend. How are you doing? Hope you're doing fine. Thank you for saying hi. Michael says, hi, Luis, that you recommend me to start in machine learning. I absolutely recommend you to start in machine learning. If you want to elaborate more, I'll be happy to. But yeah, look at the videos, courses, etc. Roshani says, what's your idea on being master of one, rather jack of all? There are wide domains, wide tools, wide technologies. When anyone talk with respect to MIMLDL? Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like AI is a bit more of a jack of all trades. You need to know, but on the other hand, if you need the master of all, I think, is more like your style. So what do you like to do? Like, do you like to program more? Then you program more. Do you like to analyze the data? Do you like to teach? Like me, for example, I try to be a jack of all trades in terms of all the machine learning knowledge, but I focus on the teaching aspect of it, right? So I think if you try to learn most of things, not all of them because there's too many things, but you try to know all of them because they help each other, and pick your way of attacking machine learning or making impact in machine learning, that's the best way to go. But yeah, it's a great question, Roshani. Scorpion says, how can I start coding the neural network for like handwritten numbers detection using the C* language? Ooh, got me there. You got me. I don't know. I would have just recommended Python and using MNIST, but I have no idea how to do it in C*. If you do, let me know. It's really just Python. Sorry, there may be packages for C*, but I don't know of them. Damien says, what was your favorite thing about writing Grok in machine learning? Did you learn anything along the way? I learned that writing is hard. I can talk for a long time, but writing in a very like in a technical way, it's difficult because you have to say everything. I look at books and they look so elevated, and then I look at what I write and it sounds like I'm just talking like, oh yeah, let's do this, let's try that. So I learned to try to write in a more sort of formal way, yet while still not losing the casualty. And I've been I actually have to work out the algorithms to a higher detail. When I explain them in a video, I noticed that there are some blind spots. Like I just go, and then the line just does this. But then when you're writing it, you have to really be more technical. And so I've had to go deeper in the algorithms when I write them. So it's been a wonderful experience. Eng Santos says, thanks, you explain things from a layman point of view. Thank you. My question is, without deep learning knowledge and knowing machine learning and the data science would be sufficient to fit industry? I don't think you need to know deep learning seriously to fit in industry. There are many places where data analysts, data scientists, they know probability statistics. I don't think it's super needed. It's good to know it, and it's good to know. You can even know it as a black box, right? Because if you know classification algorithms, neural networks are one more classification algorithm. So if you know them up to that level, then you're fine. So no, I don't think a data scientist needs to know deep learning. It helps, but no. Is it necessary? Devendra says, is it necessary to learn whole Python programming or only Python required for data science? Only the Python required for data science, because otherwise then I'm screwed because I don't know all the Python programming. Start with, the more you want to get into programming, the better. But if you want to only learn the packages, it's much easier. And then you can start being productive right away. And then, people go as far as they want, but certainly a data scientist does not need to be at the level of a software engineer in terms of coding. And thank God, because I'm not at the level of a software engineer. Yeah. Saurav says, your way of explaining concepts using examples is amazing. Thank you very much. That's how I understand them myself. I have to explain it to myself in real life examples. So I do try to share that with others. So I'm glad that you enjoy it. Mike S says, Luis, for the folks interested, I'd like to let people know SciBite released a biomedical annotated version of COVID-19 on Kaggle. Thank you very much. And he's not affiliated with SciBite or Kaggle. Let me write that down because that sounds awesome. SciBite. SciBite. So Mike has shared with us that SciBite has some interesting stuff on COVID. So take a look at it. Mert says, thanks for sharing your knowledge. Hope to see you again. I hope to see you again too. I will make more of these streamings now. This is sort of you're the guinea pigs here, but thank you. I will make more streams. So I hope to see you again. Hamid says, can you please suggest some algorithms for graphs? Yes, like things. Are you looking at like star search or something? Names escape me because I have bad memory, but I think A star search is pretty good for that. Yeah. Navneet says, thank you. Thank you very much, Navneet. Bye-bye. Thank you, Gaurav. I think we're close to closing this. It's been an hour and a half. I'm going to answer a few more questions, and then we're going to end in about three minutes. Believe it or not, we got through all the questions. Thank you, Navneet. Thank you, Gaurav. Mubashir says, how to force model not to use weights equal to 0. I'm training a model, just giving it normal data, but avoid using 0 weights to detect anomaly. Yeah, just pick random model, random numbers in a normal distribution. Just make a small normal distribution and pick random numbers. They're never going to be 0, but if you want to just put a clause that says if 0, try again. But I think if you put normally distributed numbers around the 0, it's good. Parag, hi Parag, thank you very much. Glad you like the videos. And can you also make a video on real life projects on different machine learning and deep learning rather than bookish example of housing prediction, Titanic? Exactly. Yeah, I think definitely it's important to see more real life examples. Too many people have done the housing example, and I'm a culprit there. I keep using the same ones. I try to find the simplest one, but definitely it'd be interesting to find some more interesting examples. In the book, I try to put a different example for every algorithm. So I have spam, I have recommendations, I have different things. But definitely, thanks for the suggestion. I appreciate it. Ahmed says, how to avoid procrastination? We're in the same. We're in the same boat, man. I procrastinate a lot. I find that the only way to do is to find something I'm passionate. Find something that you can't help not doing. There may be things that you just that don't feel like work because you love it so much. Like when I make videos, I really enjoy that part. But sometimes I'm at work and I have to do something, and it's hard, right? So, or sometimes I'm doing other things, and so I think trying to find what really, really makes you passionate. Alexis Garcia says, any resources in Spanish to learn Python, machine learning, data science? There's not that many. In my page, I have an entire mini course in Spanish, Serrano.Academy. So take a look at it. It's an entire playlist with Spanish videos. So that's a good start. But join Facebook groups. I'm in a few Facebook groups, Machine Learning Colombia, Machine Learning Peru. They're always sharing interesting stuff, interesting webinars. Join the community. And since it's a smaller community, it's very tight. And they talk a lot. So you can put a question there saying, hey, do you know any resources? There's a lot of good stuff. Yeah. Thanks, Mashir. Thank you. Well, let's wrap it up. So it's been an hour and a half. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. A lot of people joined, and I'm super happy. I'm always happy to see the response that I get to the videos and the material. I love doing it, and I love hearing from you. So so thank you for that. We will be making a lot of videos. Thank you, Carlina. Thank you, Devendra. Thank you, Mert. My call of action is all my info is here. So my videos are here. My book is here. Serrano.Academy. Check it out. Thank you all for joining. I love you. Stay safe. Wash your hands a lot. Don't go outside, and take good care. And yeah, keep this page in mind for everybody, for everything. And bye everybody. Bye Mert. Bye Rafa. Bye Alexis. Bye Carolina. Have a great day.